Here's a high intensity training tip to help you feel and function a lot better when you're engaged in activities like CrossFit. Now you know, if you've done those activities, that you do a lot of squatting and lunging, or activities that require stress to the hips, pelvis and lower back. So before you jump into those activities, check those areas of the body and warm them up sufficiently so that they can feel and function better when you're doing CrossFit or other high intensity activities. So an easy way to do that is simply just to kneel on the ground. You're going to place your hands on the ground in front of you, and all you're going to do is just rock back into your hips. So you're going to put your butt onto your heels, and you're going to kind of evaluate, do my hips sit back evenly onto my heels? If not, like we evaluated Ashley just before she started doing this, and more weight went to her left hand side, and she felt that. So as she's rocking back, she's feeling, am I centered, or is it one side easier to shift into? So she might put a little bit more weight into the left hand side as she goes back, and she's going to feel, is that easy? Because now she's shifting weight more to the left, which will happen when she's doing lateral movements and so forth, and transferring weight from left to right if she's running. She's going to come back up, and she's going to rock back into the right hand side now, and she's going to check, and the right hand side doesn't feel quite right, does it? Kind of shifts very weird. So she's going to stretch that out a little bit, and that's what she's doing. She's just moving her ribs to one side and pushing her hips into that side to stretch out and help that feel a little bit better. Make sure that she shifts appropriately to the right hand side when she's doing activities that require stress to her hips, pelvis and lower back. Come out of that again, and now shift back into it and see if it feels a little bit more even. Good, and that looks a lot better, a lot more even. Good. Now she can now start to add more stress to that area to warm it up more by taking her hands off the ground and kneeling up straight. So she's going to start from a extended hip position, and then she's going to sit back and let her torso come forward, and she's just checking out, can her hips go back evenly? Do you still feel like you sit a little bit more to the left? Yep. So she may need to come out of that again. She may need to do some foam roller exercises to her hips and lower back to facilitate a better movement. But we're going to see, go back to our kneeling position again, and see if you can stretch into that right hand side a little bit more. So see if you can get that shifting to happen, to warm it up a little bit more, and come back out of it. Good, and go into it again, and go to the right, to the right, to the right. Good. Now come back and take your hands off the ground, like push your hips forward, and now see if you go back more evenly into your hips. That looks much better. Feels better? Good, and come forward again. Now she would be ready to progress further into her warm-ups, to be doing her squats, lunges and so forth, because she's checked her hips, pelvis and lower back before she's jumped into those dynamic activities. Because if she's out of alignment, or her hips don't work evenly, and she jumps into squats, she's just going to make that worse. So she can check those hips, warm them up, and then she can progress into that high intensity activity and feel and function a lot better.